use my master key.
But who is she? Is she alive?
She is breathing.
Then if she isn't dead, isn't she our murderer?
That, my friend, is what we must find out. Miss, can you hear me? She's breathing. Her pulse is strong. There is no sign of physical violence. This woman is sleeping very soundly. The ticket reads Joanna Locke, traveling in compartment 105. This woman is sound asleep. Given her location, I would say she has been drugged and deposited here.
Well, at least it's not another murder on my train.
The train is, of course, full.
Monsieur, the list I gave you indicates that Hildegard Schmidt shares her compartment.
I will want to talk to her later. For now, we will concentrate on this mysterious young lady. Let's return her to her more comfortable bed.
Good idea. Pierre, locate this woman's room and fetch the doctor.
Yes, sir.
I will question her when she wakes up.
Please, let me know what you learn.
Mademoiselle Locke's compartment is 105. I suggest we return her to her more comfortable bed.
Yes, hopefully she will awaken soon.
A cup of tea with white residue at the bottom. A briefcase and a wagon-lit conductor's jacket. And the button is missing.
But of course you know what you're doing. It is booby-trapped, is it? So, Poirot, any luck so far? We really need to find the combination. Have you tried 1, 2, 3, 4?
Book, silent like a mouse, please.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'll be quiet now. You need to concentrate. I will not utter another word. Not one.
Book, there will be another murder on the Orient Express in a moment. She has a gun.
Come, Poirot. Criminals are often known to carry one.
Ratchet was stabbed, not shot. But then why take it on the train? Her driver's license confirms her identity. She is American.
These are fake IDs. It's certain.
This badge says that Joanna Locke is an American detective with the Berkshire Police Department in Massachusetts.
An American police officer? Oh.
Mademoiselle Locke seems very interested in our victim.
Of course. She has studied her target.
Possibly. The stuffed animal is the same as in the photo found at the crime scene.
What a coincidence.
Mademoiselle Locke appears to have been investigating Monsieur Ratchet.
Look, she's waking up.
Thanks to you, I would not be surprised if our murder victim were also waking up.
What?
Oh, my head. What's all the yelling about?
Who are you? Give me a good reason why you should not be in handcuffs.
I can give you a reason, Book. Whose handcuffs will we use? I have none. Do you?
Well,
You are Joanna Locke, mademoiselle?
Yes, Joanna Locke. I'm a detective. Berkshire, Massachusetts Police.
I have found your credentials, mademoiselle.
And I know who you are, Mr. Poirot.
Then, if the introductions are complete, perhaps the explanations may begin.
I'll try. It's simple, really. I'm on the trail of a murderer. I had just been promoted to detective after 5 years on patrol. It was my first time on a major case. It had been a month since Daisy Armstrong was kidnapped. The Armstrongs were desperate for some sign of hope. I was there only for paperwork, to fill in some blanks. A topographical map, often more important than a road map in these mountains. That's why I'm here. A damn computer glitch. Or somebody pushed delete instead of save. Whatever happened, we lost the nanny's deposition. So my entire contribution to the investigation is to take it again. The phone record of the night of the kidnapping. The last call was for 911. Good evening. Colonel Armstrong?
Yes. You're the detective they phoned about.
Joanna Locke.
I don't remember you.
I'm newly assigned to the case.
It's about time more detectives were involved. My wife, Sonia, she hasn't been herself. Every day is a waking nightmare for us. Tell me you've uncovered something new.
I'm here to speak to your daughter's nanny. There was a computer problem. Her earlier statement has been lost.
Oh, I see. We had hoped. Well, do as you wish. I won't be far if you need me.
Hello, are you Suzanne Moreau, Daisy's nanny?
Yes?
I'm Joanna Locke, a detective working on Daisy's case.
Is there any news?
I'm afraid not.
How can I help you?
I'm really sorry. I'm afraid I have to take your statement again concerning the evening of Daisy's disappearance. There was a computer problem. Your statement was accidentally deleted.
Of course. I want to help any way I can.
Tell me about that night in your own words.
The Armstrongs had a party to raise money for a museum, I think. Mrs. Armstrong is on her board. I was in charge of Daisy. I stayed with the little one all evening, playing with her and reading books to her. She couldn't sleep with all the noise and the comings and goings.
When did you notice Daisy was missing?
I was only gone 5 minutes to phone my mother. She's in the hospital. When I returned, Daisy wasn't in her bed. I thought she might have gone to look at the party, but then I saw the ransom note on her pillow. I screamed and screamed. I couldn't stop.
Did you notice anything unusual before that?
I was with Daisy all evening. Finally, she fell asleep. I didn't see anyone else or notice anything in particular.
Do you have any idea who did this?
No! I can't see who could have done such a horrible thing. The Armstrongs are such good people. Like my own family.
Thank you for giving me your statement again. I'll get back to you if I have any questions.
I won't be far.
Okay, I have Suzanne's statement, but her answers need some checking. Lyon, in France. What a lovely looking city. A toy train. Now here I am on a real one. This information does not correspond to what Suzanne told me. Suzanne said she left Daisy alone for 5 minutes, but Mrs. Armstrong says she stayed with Daisy for a while and Suzanne did not return. Hey, I'm a pretty good detective after all. The world through the eyes of a child seems so sweet. A toy castle. When I was a kid, I had a police station and a tiny squad car with a siren that really worked. Mrs. Armstrong, my name is Joanna Locke. I'm a detective investigating the kidnapping of your daughter. May I talk to you? When is your baby due? Mrs. Armstrong? Sonia?
I don't want to talk. I just want to see my daughter again. That's all that matters.
The poor woman. I can't imagine how she feels. Score. 1 for the good guys. Mrs. Armstrong? Let me show you this.
Daisy, my little Daisy. I miss her so much. How good it is to see her face.
I can't imagine the pain you're feeling right now.
She loved her little stuffed animal, Fluffy. She took him everywhere with her. The kidnappers took it as well. They didn't have to. That means they wouldn't hurt her, doesn't it?
Every lead will be followed up. You have my word on that.
Thank you. I shouldn't lose hope. Somehow.
I know it isn't my case, but I just made a promise, and I mean to keep it. Do you know where I can find Miss Moreau?
She's in her room. Last door on the left.
Tell me about the night Daisy was taken, especially anything about your daughter and Suzanne Moreau.
Apart from seeing to our guests, I took a moment to check on Suzanne and Daisy in Daisy's room. Suzanne wasn't there, but Daisy was asleep. I sat with her for 10 minutes or so. Suzanne didn't return while I was there, but there's no reason for her to sit there all night when Daisy is asleep. I went back downstairs.
May I come back if I have more questions?
Of course. Anything I can do.
Okay, the stories Sonia and Suzanne tell don't match. I should recheck my file and track Suzanne. That is not exactly what Suzanne told me earlier. Suzanne was on the phone more than 5 minutes. That's it. No rookie mistake there. If I understand you correctly, you left Daisy when she was not asleep?
The party was very loud. Daisy was too wound up to sleep. I read her a Motley Mule detective story to try and put her to sleep. Daisy finally fell asleep. Right before Motley Mule solved his case in the book I was reading her. I had to make a quick phone call. No more than 5 minutes. But when I came back, Daisy was gone.
Are you sure you were only gone for 5 minutes?
5, 6, what does it matter? It was very quick.
You say you were only away 5 or 6 minutes, but Mrs. Armstrong says she was alone there more like 10 minutes. And the phone record shows that you stayed on the call for more than 30 minutes, way longer than you said.
My mother is extremely ill. It's difficult for me. I may have lost track of time. When I came back, Daisy had disappeared. It must have been a coincidence.
You have to be precise, Suzanne. A little girl's life is at stake.
Why are you doing this? I didn't do anything wrong. I would never hurt Daisy.
I need to check Suzanne's story. She's panicking. Why now? What is she afraid of? I should see if the Armstrongs can confirm what Suzanne told me. That is a great detective job.
The number you have called is not in service at this time. Please hang up and dial again, or contact your service provider.
The number Suzanne called is not in service? A hospital? I spoke with Suzanne. She was phoning her mother. That's why you didn't see her when you went to check on Daisy.
Yes, her mother. I tried to call the poor woman earlier that week, but the hospital said she's been in a medically induced coma for more than 2 months.
Suzanne told me she called her mother, but she would have known her mother was in a coma. How are you doing? Are you holding up?
You know, in the military, you're supposed to have the stiffest of upper lips. The Desert War taught me that soon enough. But this, it's difficult. Damned difficult. Harder on my good lady, of course.
Do you know where I can find Miss Moreau?
Her room is upstairs across the hall from Daisy's. She seldom leaves it.
Did you see Miss Moreau during the party?
I remember seeing her at some point, but otherwise no. I was too busy with my guests. Wear the smile, shake the proffered hand.
Ms. Moreau told me she called her mother.
Well, why not? I believe they are very close, and the poor woman is not well. She needs some experimental treatment that isn't available yet in France.
I won't be long.
Take whatever time you need.
The detective gets it right. The kidnapper places a ladder under the window to Daisy's room. Then he joins the party, just one guest in the crowd. He somehow knows when Suzanne leaves the room, then sneaks upstairs. He opens Daisy's window, carries her down the ladder, and vanishes. The number you called that night is no longer in service.
I don't understand. That's the number the hospital gave me to call my mother's room.
You told me you were on the phone with your mother when Daisy was abducted.
As we said earlier, I didn't pay attention and was on the phone longer than I said. But since my mother is very ill, she had to leave her hometown, Lyon, because the treatment is not approved yet in France. She is in an hospital in Boston for a special treatment. I call her every night to check on her. When I came back, Daisy was gone. I'll never forgive myself.
Are you sure you called your mother?
Yes, every night since she was admitted in December.
Suzanne, I think you really care for Daisy. If you do, then tell me the truth. You can't have been calling your mother while she's in a coma.
My mom really is in a hospital in Boston. She really is in a coma. I wasn't calling her. I was on the phone with my boyfriend, Noah.
Why lie about it? Why are you panicking?
Because he's gone. I haven't heard from him since the night of the kidnapping. I'm afraid he's somehow connected to Daisy's disappearance. That he was just using me somehow. But I swear I talked to him. Yes, for more like 30 minutes that night. So he couldn't have kidnapped Daisy at the same time we were talking.
But he could have kept you talking so someone else could take Daisy.
Yes, you can see why I lied. Can't you? I was afraid you'd suspect me of having something to do with it. You can understand that, can't you?
Suzanne, I want to believe you, but you've made it harder to find Daisy. Do you realize that?
Oh my God. What have I done?
What's most important is not what you've done, but what you do now. Go. I'll be back to talk to you. No more lies, Suzanne. For Daisy, no more lies. Noah. The name might lead us to that little girl. I am on this case now, whether my captain wants me to be or not. A card from the florist. It's signed N. Huh. What's in the glass case? Ah, big surprise. Glasses. I expect Suzanne must have gone through a lot of tissues these past weeks. An Eiffel Tower keychain, but no key. Small jewelry box. By the size, I'm guessing earrings. Why put a key in a jewelry box? That doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Okay, Suzanne, let's see what you haven't told me. can see why Suzanne didn't tell me everything about this, Noah. It's clear when he disappeared that she realized something was very wrong. Can you tell me anything about Suzanne's boyfriend?
I know she dated our chauffeur for a while. There was someone else she'd met recently, but I don't recall his name.
Know anything about Miss Moreau's boyfriend?
Her boyfriend? I know she went out with someone for a while there. More recently, I saw a man in a 4x4 who would pick her up on her nights off. He never got out of his car, just waited for her. She did seem to spend more time than usual on the phone these past few weeks, but she worked hard. We weren't going to begrudge her what free time she had. Since the abduction, she keeps pretty much to herself.
I won't be long.
Take whatever time you need.
These tire tracks could well be from Suzanne's boyfriend's 4x4. That is a great detective job. I imagine these flowers must have been beautiful. Who gave them to you?
The gardener. They're getting pretty wilted, but I hate to throw them away.
Tell me about your boyfriend. Have you been together long?
My boyfriend? Why? He doesn't have anything to do with this.
Please, Suzanne, the sooner you answer my question, the sooner we'll be done.
His name is Noah Garrity. I met him at a Lunar New Year party in Great Barrington. He is a kind and caring person. Although, well, I miss him. He had to go away on business. He should be back.
Tread marks of a four-wheel drive vehicle were found outside the garden on the night of the kidnapping. Noah drives one, doesn't he? Where is he, Suzanne? If you know anything more about him, you have to tell me.
I know what you're thinking, but it's impossible. He was very nice to me. He never did anything to make me suspicious. We went out to eat, to the movies. Just like a normal couple. He's not the only man in the Berkshires who drives that kind of car.
Where is a lie detector when you need one? You really didn't notice anything strange about Noah until he vanished?
He could get moody at times, as if he had a lot on his mind.
In your diary, you say that Noah took you to a cabin in the mountains on Valentine's Day.
You read my diary?
I'm sorry, but we have to find Daisy. We both want that. So yes, I looked in your diary.
You're right. He took me to a cabin in the woods. I waited for him in the car. He came out after a few minutes. He was very sweet and apologetic, but he never explained. We went back to the restaurant for dessert.
Did you ever go back to the cabin with him?
No, never.
So what made Noah drive all the way to a cabin in the middle of nowhere? He left her in the car. Why was he there? This is important. I know it is. I can use Suzanne's directions to the cabin and compare them to the map of the area I have in my car. Thanks to the information Suzanne gave me, I should be able to find the cabin on this map. I got it. The cabin has to be here. I have to find that cabin. I hope I'm not too late. Okay, here is this famous cabin. Let's investigate. That barrel is sturdy enough. I could climb on it. Noah brought Suzanne to this dump on Valentine's Day? What a romantic. Hello? Is anyone there? Nobody. I can't just waltz in without a warrant. Ugh, an old hunting trophy, starting to molt. It's Daisy's plush toy. If Fluffy is here, the kidnapper has been here. I have to get inside this cabin. Empty wine bottles. Somebody has been here lately. I'm not getting through this door by wishing it open. The broom isn't sturdy enough to force the door. Noah brought Suzanne to this dump on Valentine's Day? What a romantic. A maul for splitting wood. Perfect for attacking doors. Look at that. A broken door to investigate. No need for a warrant. Some people seem to have played here before. Some boxes. I wonder what they were used for. A lot of tools. I guess somebody noticed the cabin was about to fall down. That's a woman's hairbrush. Did Suzanne actually come in here after all? This bottle comes from the Blue Lagoon. It's fluffy, no doubt about it. A gold mustache. Thank you very much. The floor is scratched and worn in this area. The sofa must have been moved a lot. Damn, it's booby-trapped. If I move, it could go off, and that countdown tells me it wants to go off anyway. Since I'm telling this story to you, Mr. Poirot, you should be able to deduce I didn't blow myself up. Let's see if I can remember how I defused the bomb. That should do it. Wow, I wonder if that's how close it was. This would have ended my investigation right here.
These rods are heading towards the canisters. It must be the trigger for the explosion. I smell a strong, sweet smell. Damn. I think these are filled to the brim with diethyl ether. Incredibly flammable. It looks like the kidnappers wanted to utterly destroy this place and whoever opened this hatch. A wooden crate? I have to open it. Oh no. Daisy. No.
I called in my discovery of the body. Then there was nothing I could do except protect the site for forensics. The forensics team arrived an hour later, cordoned off the cabin with crime scene tape, and went to work, looking for physical evidence, fingerprints, testing for fluids, DNA, any clues science can uncover.
They removed Daisy's body. The autopsy would take place in the morning. But I had one more stop to make. That night, I swore to find the monster who killed that child. Ratchet on train saw me? How? Daisy.
She was awake?
And then she collapsed again.
I take the responsibility. She was weaker than I realized.
Oh.
Lie still while I examine you. Pupils dilated?
I'm all right.
You are far from all right. You have been heavily sedated. Your pulse is very weak.
I have to finish my story. Ratchet can't escape again. Can't escape.
Have no fear of that, mademoiselle. Ratchet will not escape.
We must hear her story.
This woman needs rest. I will let you know when she is recovered enough to continue. But I warn you, it will be some time.
I understand, Doctor. Thank you.
I have completed my preliminary examination of the deceased. I think that it will interest you.
Indeed it will, and I have other witnesses to interrogate. You are right. Let's not put this poor woman in danger. There will be plenty of time for her to finish her story when she has recovered. By all means, tell me the results of your examination. That was easy. Can you estimate the time of death?
Rigor mortis was advanced, but not complete. I estimate the death occurred between midnight and 2 in the morning.
That tallies with the witness statements I've collected so far. What is the cause of death?
Multiple stab wounds to the upper torso. It's odd there are no signs of a struggle. That might indicate one of the first wounds was enough to kill him.
It seems that Monsieur Ratchet had taken sleeping pills during the night.
Ah, that would explain the lack of defensive wounds.
Mr. McQueen and Mr. Masterman told me that Monsieur Ratchet didn't smoke. Can you confirm this?
I can't say without a more extensive post-mortem.
What can you tell me about the stab wounds?
I counted 12 in all. 1 or 2 are so slight as to be practically scratches. On the other hand, at least 3 would be capable of causing death. The angle of the wounds is instructive. Most appear to have been struck by a right-handed person. But you see this one, under the right armpit. It's not a deadly blow, given the depth, but a right-hander couldn't have done it. It was most certainly struck with the left hand.
So, our murderer is left-handed. No, it is more difficult than that, is it not?
As you say, Mr. Poirot, some of these other blows are just as obviously right-handed.
Do we have a first and second murderer, as the great Shakespeare would put it? The first murderer stabs his victim and exits left, turning off the light. Then a second murderer comes in the dark, does not see his or her work has been done, and stabs a dead body.
Magnificent.
You think so? I'm glad. It sounds to me a little like nonsense. Thank you, Doctor. Excellent work under difficult circumstances. Please let me know when I may speak again with Mademoiselle Locke.
Of course.
Even a smoker might innocently turn me down. Yes, that's certainly a good place to start. I don't remember any conversation. Book doesn't smoke, even if... Yes, I have personally seen some passengers smoking. I just have to remember who they were. No, I have no official authority. Yes, I suppose it's likely they will give me the list of who smokes what. Et voilà. Et voilà. Brilliant. Adequate. Nice. Yes. That was easy. How is Mademoiselle Locke, Doctor?
Her vital signs are improving, but she is still unconscious.
I understand. Thank you for looking after her. Captain Arbuthnot, I beg your pardon, but could you answer a few questions for me?
I'm grateful you found my ticket, Poirot, but now is not convenient.
I certainly didn't expect such a resistance. I need to be sure before accusing the captain. Most of the passengers pass by the bar during the day. They eat, drink, write. Maybe I can use this information for my investigation. Nice. Yes, it could work. He appears to be an observant young man and serves the passengers regularly. Fantastic. Yes, if I ask them to write something trivial, they may do it instinctively with their dominant hand. Adequate. Yes, I will remember which people use their right or left hand. Et voilà. Mademoiselle Debenham, I have a few questions for you.
Of course.
Let's start with your movements last night.
There's little to tell. I went to bed and slept.
Did you know the man who was killed?
I saw him for the first time during lunch yesterday.
Did you notice anything about him?
Well, if I believed in auras, I might say he seemed dark.
Would you mind writing your address on this paper for me?
Not at all.
That's it. Mademoiselle Debenham is right-handed. Do you recall what time Mademoiselle Olsen went to get some aspirin from Madame Hubbard?
I remember glancing at the clock. She left our room just after 10:30 p.m.
Was she away for a long time?
About 5 minutes.
That confirms what Madame Hubbard told me. Do you smoke by any chance?
No, I never have.
Do you own a scarlet nightgown?
No, it isn't mine.
Whose then?
I don't know. What do you mean?
You do not say, I have no such thing. You say, it isn't mine, meaning that you know who it belongs to, am I correct?
Oh, I see. No. I woke up this morning about 5 a.m. with the feeling that the train had been standing still for a long time. I opened the door,
and I saw someone in a scarlet kimono some way down the corridor. Her back was turned. It was impossible to see who it was.
I understand. Thank you for your assistance, mademoiselle. Mademoiselle, I am sorry to disturb you, but I need to ask you a few questions.
Are you the investigator?
I am.
We are lucky you are on the train. What do you want to know?
I hear, mademoiselle, that you were the last person to see the murdered man alive.
I do not know. It may be so. I opened the door of his compartment by mistake. I was much ashamed. It was a most awkward mistake.
You actually saw him?
Yeah, he was reading a book.
And what did you do after that, mademoiselle?
I went in to the American lady, Mrs. Hubbard. I asked her for some aspirin, and she gave it to me. I usually carry extra aspirin for the refugees, but I gave mine to a camp in Turkey. They needed it more than me.
I do not think that's the right answer. No, not good. I'm right again. That happens to me a lot. Did Mrs. Hubbard ask you whether the communicating door between her compartment and that of Monsieur Ratchet was bolted?
Yes.
And was it?
Yes.
And after that, what did you do?
After that, I went back to my compartment, took the aspirin, and lay down. That was around 10:50 p.m.
Is there anyone else in your compartment?
Yeah, a young English lady. Very nice, very amiable.
After the train left Vinkovsky, did she leave the compartment?
No, I am sure she did not.
Why are you so sure, if you were asleep?
I sleep very lightly. I am used to waking at a sound. I am sure that if she had come down from the berth above, I should have awakened.
Did you yourself leave the compartment after that?
Not until this morning.
Do you have a scarlet silk kimono, mademoiselle?
No, indeed. I have a good comfortable dressing gown of Jaeger material.
Do you smoke, mademoiselle?
No, I can't stand the smell of tobacco.
Perhaps you will be so amiable as to write me down your address.
With pleasure.
Mademoiselle Olsen is indeed right-handed. This was a very interesting conversation, mademoiselle. I thank you.
If you have any other questions, I'll be in my compartment. Good luck, Mr. Poirot.
Strange, this story. If Mademoiselle Olsen is such a light sleeper, why didn't she tell me about Mademoiselle Debenham getting out of bed? She even made a point to tell me the opposite. My little grey cells did not let me down. I'll observe her instead. I'll observe her instead. I'll keep an eye on them instead. Et voilà. Monsieur Fauché, may I disturb you for a moment?
Of course. How can I help?
It is, of course, about the murder of Monsieur Ratchet. Can you tell me your movements last night?
I understand. Yesterday evening, I took a break at Vinkovsky station with Hotaru. We then went to our quarters in the staff accommodations, a section of the luggage car. Freya was there, reading, and I went to bed right after. Freya is there now, I think, and Hotaru is in the kitchen. They can verify my story.
What time was this?
11:30 p.m. or a bit after. The snow is beginning to fall heavily.
I see. Thank you. Can you write your address on this paper, please?
You want to pay me a visit?
Who knows, Monsieur Fauché? He is right-handed, there can be no doubt. Are you a smoker?
I'm trying to quit, but yes. I'm now down to just 1 pack of cigarettes a week. If you're looking for a heavy smoker, you should talk to Hotaru.
Thank you, Monsieur Fauché. I'll come back to you if I have more questions. You can never have too many of these.
So, Poirot, I hope you are progressing in your investigation.
I have not finished yet, but it is progressing, yes. I still have many questions that must be answered. I will report to you as soon as I can. Ah, Monsieur Maury, would you have a few minutes to give me? I have some questions to ask you.
Do I look like I can answer questions? The room is spinning. My head is about to explode.
You were celebrating last night?
Celebrating? When Freya always wins? Ah, what am I saying? If you want my answers to your questions to make sense, help me recover. You see there, the magnet on the fridge. That is my special recipe. I call it my day after survival tonic. If you could make me my special tonic, I might survive long enough to answer your questions. Jean knows the recipe very well. He can help you with the preparation.
Very well, Monsieur Maury. If I must, I must. I will make you your day after survival tonic. I'm right again. That happens to me a lot. Missing half of the tonic ingredients. I have all the ingredients for Monsieur Maury's tonic. I have to go and see Monsieur Fauché so he can prepare it for me. Monsieur Fauché, may I disturb you for a moment?
Of course. How can I help?
Monsieur Fauché, I need your help to prepare a cocktail.
What is this phrase? This is music to my ears. What can I fix for you? A mojito? A gin and tonic? Or perhaps a martini? Shaken, not stirred?
It's not for me, but for Monsieur Maury.
Ah, his day after survival tonic. Unfortunately, I know it well.
Here is everything that was listed on the magnet.
Excellent! I can take it from here. Mr. Poirot, I'm uncertain about the lemon juice. Is it half a lemon or a full lemon for the recipe?
Half a lemon.
I can't remember if Hotaru prefers it with ginger or without. Do you remember?
I can assure you that he will want the ginger.
There you are, sir. Hotaru will be himself again.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Here you go, Mr. Maury. I hope this will help you.
Thank you very much. Please give me a moment. While this takes effect, it will be a while, I'm afraid. But I will not move from the kitchen.
Since I have to wait, do you know where I can find Mademoiselle Nielsen?
She is in the staff quarters in the luggage car. If the door is locked, John will have the key.
Thank you. I will return. I hope you have a speedy recovery. It's locked. Monsieur Maury told me that you are the one who has the key to open the luggage car door. I will need it.
Yes, that's right. Here it is. Please don't forget to give it back to me.
I will not forget, Monsieur Fauché. I have a favor to ask. Could you visit the passengers who are in their rooms and explain there has been an error with their allergy and diet form?
But, Monsieur Poirot, I made no errors.
Of course not. Call it a computer error.
Yes, it is possible, but even if I can see this is part of your investigation, I do not understand it.
I would ask that you observe which hand each passenger uses.
Ah, you wish to know if they use the right or left hand when they write?
That is my intention.
I will take on this mission for you.
Excellent. That's it. It's open now. A deck of cards. I suspect they were reading diamonds and spades instead of books. Empty rum bottles. Hello, Mademoiselle Nielsen. May I ask you a few questions?
I don't have a minute. My career is ruined, and it's not my fault.
But how did this terrible thing come to pass?
My supplies, passenger luggage, our living space. There is so little room. I gave the cargo handlers in Istanbul strict instructions how to stack my crates containing the ingredients I need for my desserts, so as one box is used up, it can be discarded.
And these fools of cargo handlers did not follow your instructions?
Ignored completely. I have 4 crates that must be moved from there to here to correct the order they are stacked. But placing the wrong crate on top of a smaller crate will crush it, its contents, and my career.
Calm yourself, mademoiselle. I understand. So, the problem is these 4 crates must be moved there, but carefully.
Yes. I have to move these 4 boxes from this location to here. But there is not much space to move the boxes, and I have to be careful never to put a bigger box on top of a smaller one, or the smaller crate will be destroyed.
The problem is clear. I shall assist you. Et voilà!
You are a lifesaver.
Or at least a dessert saver.
Thank you, thank you. I will gladly answer your questions.
Can you tell me your movements of last night?
Last night after dinner, I stayed in the kitchen until 12:15 a.m. Then I joined Jean and Hotaru in our quarters. Then all of us read quietly in our beds until we fell asleep.
A very studious staff. However, Monsieur Mori doesn't seem to have followed the same literary pursuit as the others. And these rum bottles, do they have something to do with his hangover? I rather think that you didn't just read last night.
What makes you say that?
I spoke to Monsieur Mori. He seemed to be quite hungover. He even asked me to make him his day after tonic. He blurted out, "Freya always wins." Wins what? Looking around, it is clear you were gambling and drinking most of the night.
You don't understand. It's late when we're off duty, but we need to unwind. And now there's been a murder? Yes, I admit it. We went overboard last night. But please don't tell Mr. Book. It's against regulations. We could all be fired.
Mademoiselle, I realize your difficult jobs have been made more difficult. But as you say, there has been a murder. I must have the truth.
Of course. I'm so sorry.
It's not such a crime. I'll leave it there and check in with Monsieur Fauché. Would you mind writing your address on this paper? I'm asking everyone on the train for addresses, in case I need to contact them once they leave the train in Paris.
I understand.
Yes, that's it. Mademoiselle Niersen is right-handed. Do you smoke?
No, I never have.
Thank you. Thank you for your answers, Miss Nielsen.
You're welcome.
Ha-ha! Golden moustache. How are you?
It's better. Thank you.
Then may I ask you some questions? It will not take long.
Quickly, please. I have hungry passengers to feed.
Très bien. Can you tell me your movements last night?
Oh, nothing special. When I went off duty, I joined John and Freya in a compartment. I read for a short while, then went to bed early.
Reading? I'm not sure you have recovered enough to tell me the truth. Don't waste what little energy you have recovered to lie, Monsieur Mori.
Yes, sorry, Mr. Poirot. You're right. It obviously wasn't reading that made my head hurt like that. But if you told Monsieur Book, it could mean my job.
I will keep your secret, but I am investigating a murder. You must tell me the truth.
Thank you.
Please, write your address on this paper.
My address? I don't see why.
I think I hear Monsieur Book approaching.
My address? Yes, of course.
Another right-handed person. Not surprising, most people are. You are a heavy smoker.
My job. It is very stressful.
Would you happen to know who vapes on the train? A banana flavor?
Oh, yes. The smell disgusts me. What is wrong with the good tobacco?
I do not have time to answer that. Who is it?
I've only seen one person who vapes. It's Captain Arbuthnot.
Captain Arbuthnot, I see. Your testimony was invaluable to me, thank you. Take care, Monsieur Mori. My palate depends on your good health. Here is your key. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
About the little favor I asked of you.
Aha, but of course. I was able to get new allergy forms from guests who were in their compartments. Monsieur McQueen, Monsieur Masterman, Count and Countess Andreni, they are all right-handed. I also asked Princess Dragomirov, but she had her assistant, Madame Schmidt, sign for her. She is right-handed as well.
You have exceeded my expectations. Well done. Thank you, Monsieur Fauché. I'll come back to you if I have more questions. Great. Right. That was easy. Pardon this intrusion, Mademoiselle Olsen, but something you told me earlier confuses me.
Oh, please, come in.
How can you be sure Mademoiselle Debenham was in bed all night?
As I told you, I am a very light sleeper. The slightest noise wakes me up. If Fraulein Debenham had gotten out of her bed, I would have heard her. I got up this morning around 8 a.m. She was sleeping soundly.
Are you certain you would have heard her?
Yes. Why are you asking?
I spoke to Mademoiselle Debenham and she told me that she got up around 5 o'clock in the morning. She opened the door and looked down the corridor. It was then that she saw a woman in a red kimono. How do you explain that?
I think I must have been sleeping very soundly not to have heard it. Oh, but does that make me a suspect?
I am not accusing anyone, mademoiselle. Do not worry. I am just trying to determine what happened last night. Thank you for your testimony. Captain Arbuthnot, I know that you are the only person on this train to smoke e-cigarettes. We found a vial of e-liquid at the crime scene. Will you talk to me about this, or should I pass on what I've learned to the police?
All right. Come in if you must.
I have just a few questions for you.
Very well, let's hear them.
The young English lady, Mademoiselle Debenham, was at the Tocatlian Hotel. Perhaps you met her there?
We exchanged a few words, fellow Brits abroad, that sort of thing.
What can you tell me about Mademoiselle Debenham?
Nothing whatsoever. We barely spoke.
The director of the Orient Express, Monsieur Bouc, thinks the assassin is a woman.
And that is enough to accuse her? She had nothing to do with this murder.
How can you be so certain?
The idea is absurd. Ratchet was a perfect stranger to her. She'd never seen him before.
Ah, did she tell you so?
Well, yes, maybe she did. She may have commented once upon his somewhat unpleasant appearance. If a woman is concerned, as you seem to think, to my mind, without any evidence, I can assure you that Miss Debenham could not possibly be implicated.
It is clear that the captain is defending Miss Debenham, a woman he supposedly doesn't know very well. What were you doing last night around 1:15?
1:15? I believe I was still talking to that young American fellow, Mr. McQueen, the secretary of the man who was killed. We were in his compartment.
He was a friend or acquaintance of yours?
No, I never saw him before this journey. We'd hit it off at dinner, and the conversation continued into the early hours.
Until what time was that?
Until 1:45 or so. Then I retired to my room and went to sleep.
There is nothing you can recall last night that in any way struck you as suspicious?
It's nothing. A mere detail.
Allow me to be the judge.
Well, before returning to my room, I went to the lounge car to get a glass of water. When I was passing through the first-class corridor, I noticed that the door, which is just after your room, 201, was not quite closed, and the person who was inside peered out in a furtive sort of way. Then he closed the door quickly. I know there's nothing in that, but it was the furtive way it was done that caught my attention. Struck me as a bit odd.
I understand. Thank you for letting me know. Could you write down your address here, please?
My address? If you insist.
This man is right-handed. Is this e-cigarette liquid yours?
What flavor is it?
Banana.
Well, that is awkward. That's my flavor of choice. But I have no idea what it was doing there, whatever.
Can you explain how it ended up there?
I have no idea. I never entered the man's room, Poirot. That's the truth.
Thank you, Captain.
You're welcome.
Captain Arbuthnot is the only passenger to smoke an e-cigarette. Even if this liquid in Ratchet's room is a solid clue, he has an alibi. I cannot accuse him without any other proof. Et voilà. My little grey cells did not let me down.
So, Poirot, I hope you are progressing in your investigation.
There is no trace of the murder weapon on the train, as yet. The killer could have hidden it anywhere.
It must be somewhere.
Indeed, as you say, it must be somewhere. According to Dr. Constantine's report, the stab wounds were made by at least one right-handed and one left-handed person, and with different strength. For the moment, everyone I have checked is right-handed. It is impossible to draw any conclusions as yet. However, I still have a few people to interrogate, notably the Russian princess.
You still have many avenues to explore?
Indeed, the case is far from over, mon ami. I identified the person responsible for the bottle of liquid for the vape found at the crime scene.
So, this is our culprit? Do we hold him?
No, unfortunately, this bottle belongs to Captain Arbuthnot, but he has an alibi, confirmed by Monsieur McQueen for the time of the murder.
Monsieur Bouc, Monsieur Poirot.
Michel, calm down.
But it's Mrs. Hubbard. She says she found the murder weapon in her room. She's very upset.
Let's go, Poirot.
I demand to be allowed to leave this train!
Madame, we are in the mountains, trapped in a snowdrift.
Stating the obvious, there is a murderer among us. He had the audacity to hide his weapon in my room.
Please, Madame Hubbard, take a deep breath and tell us what occurred. Where did you find the knife?
I wanted to get a handkerchief from my purse, and when I opened it, I saw it! A bloody knife! Am I next to be murdered?
I very much doubt the murderer would give you his weapon.
What do you mean?
Madame, he would have used it.
Oh, I haven't!
Did you touch the knife?
Of course not! What a question!
I will take that as a no. Is this knife the real murder weapon, or is it a red herring?
Mrs. Hubbard is distraught, Poirot. I should stay with her. Please go on without me.
I have every right to be distraught. Thank you, Mr. Bouc.
Dr. Constantine, we may have found our murder weapon. We need to make certain.
There is a pretty quick way to be sure. I have estimated the depth of the wounds. You can easily find the depth of each wound by comparing the width. There are 5 of them that I am not sure about. Test them, and then we will compare our results.
I will do as you say, Doctor. This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth. No, not good. I'm right again. That happens to me a lot. What do you think, Doctor? Is this knife really the murder weapon?
There can be no doubt. You found the same depths as the estimates I made during the preliminary autopsy. I can assure you that you hold in your hands the weapon that took Ratchet's life.
Thank you. I feel way better now.
The rest gave you time to sleep off most of the effects of the drug.
I'm still a bit groggy.
That's understandable.
Are you able to continue your story now?
Yes. Yes, I think so. Where was I?
You were explaining how you returned to the Armstrong house to tell them their poor little child was dead.
Yes, that's it. I felt helpless. My part in the case was officially over, but I knew I couldn't let it go. Daisy deserved justice. Two days later, I returned to the Armstrong house to tell them Daisy would be released soon for burial. I was angry with myself that I couldn't bring them better news. I wasn't prepared for more tragedy. Hello, Miss Moreau. I'm here to see Colonel Armstrong.
Good morning, Detective. Colonel Armstrong is upstairs. He isn't well.
Good morning, Colonel Armstrong. Is your wife here?
Here? No, Sonia is not here. Always one step behind. She died of a miscarriage last night. My wife, Daisy, and our baby. My whole family is gone.
I'm so sorry. I came straight here this morning. I received word that you can arrange for Daisy to be returned to you for burial. I didn't know.
Well, then, now you don't have to come back. I can arrange for Daisy, my wife, and our unborn child to be buried all at once. Very efficient. Being a military man, I can appreciate efficiency.
I know how hard this must be for you.
No, you don't know. I don't want your sympathy. I want you to do your bloody job and catch the creature that did this.
I know you won't believe me, but I swear to you, I will find who did this. If it takes me to the far corners of the earth, I will find them.
Then go. Please go now. Go find them.
The house that once held the laughter of a child now feels so empty. I'm not giving up. I'm a part of this case, or the case is a part of me.
All units, hikers in the vicinity of the cabin where Daisy Armstrong was found spotted a pickup truck drive through the barricade tape and then head up the dirt road toward where the subject cabin is located. Any car nearby who can respond?
Unit 28, we can respond, but we're a ways away.
Dispatch, this is 11. I'm on it.
Copy that. 11, you're good to go.
Copy that. Okay, there's the pickup. Let's see who ignored our barricade tape. 11 here. I'm at the cabin. Someone has broken in.
Are you requesting backup?
Not yet. I'm going to take a look around.
Copy that, 11.
An individual has entered a police-secured area. I have to stop him first. Footprints. A forensics evidence identification marker. Duct tape to silence Daisy's screams. Damn it, Daisy. I will find whoever did this to you. Forensics had to go through this place with a fine-tooth comb. He's not here. Three, 8, 92. Oh, when the poor deer was killed. That's where I found Fluffy, Daisy's special toy. I hope we returned him to the family. A forensics evidence identification marker. Somebody ignored the barricade tape. An individual has entered a police-secured area. I have to stop him first. A gold mustache. Thank you very much. Help yourself, Joanna. You earned it.
Don't shoot, officer. I'm on your side.
Sir, keep your hands where I can see them.
Sure, no problem.
Sir, this is a crime scene. Who the hell are you?
I'm a reporter. Boston 6 News. You can get us on cable even here in the mountains.
They haven't heard of crime scene tape in a big city like Boston?
All right, that wasn't my best move. I got all excited. I didn't expect to find the place deserted. It was hard to resist.
You should have tried harder. I'm placing you under arrest.
You should be thanking me. Look what you apparently missed and I found.
We'll get to that, but you're going to answer some questions first.
I'm more used to asking questions, but fire away.
Who are you exactly?
I'm Michael Clark, journalist for Boston 6 News. Off camera, but someday I'm going to be anchor. You just wait.
Do you have a way to prove that?
My press card's in my truck.
What are you doing here? You should know a crime scene is off limits.
I'm investigating the Daisy Armstrong kidnapping like you.
Does the pickup parked in front of the cabin belong to you?
Yes, indeed, it's mine.
I'll check. Show me your hands. I'm gonna cuff you.
I'm sure we can work out a deal.
Put your hands in front of you.
Aren't you going to read me my rights?
You have the right to remain silent. I really wish you'd exercise that one. Dispatch, this is 11. I intercepted a suspicious individual at the crime scene. I'll check to determine how badly he's compromised it. Then I'm bringing him in.
Copy that, Detective Locke.
Clark's press card, and the phone number of the newspaper is on it. Ah, good. I can give him a call. Candid photos of the entire Armstrong family. A reporter just doing his job. Or something else? The glove compartment is closed. Car keys in the sun visor. A classic hiding place. Well, at least on TV. Clark's driver's license seems to be in order. The vehicle registration is not in the name of Michael Clark or a rental company. Telephoto lens. Not so surprising for a journalist. That is a great detective job.
Hi, I'm Detective Joanna Locke, Berkshire Police. I'd like to speak to an editor, please.
One moment, please. Hello, Detective Locke? This is Abby Wilson. I'm a senior editor. What can I do for you?
Does a man named Michael Clark work for you?
Yes, he does. Why?
When was the last time you heard from him?
Oh, it's been at least 7 or 8 months. That's not unusual.
He works in the field?
Yes, Michael Clark is what we call a stringer. He works as a freelancer, comes up with a story we can use, we pay him, then we don't hear from him again for several months.
What kind of stories does Mr. Clark write?
Mr. Clark is an investigative reporter. Mostly crime stories, to tell you the truth. He comes up with some pretty macabre stuff some of the time. Is there a problem? Or a story?
Do you remember what the last case he investigated was?
It was a murder case. The victim was a millionaire named James Miller. He was called the Frozen Fish King of Gloucester, Massachusetts. His body turned up in one of his nets. Or, rather, most of it did.
Ah, well, thank you, Ms. Wilson. You've been a great help to me.
Pleasure. I hope he's not in trouble. He can be a little pushy, but he's a good guy overall. So what's he working on now, Detective? Are you sitting on a story?
Thanks again. I don't need to talk to the suspect right now.